Ladies and gentlemen, what is it about Sword Art Online that makes people think it's so good? That's a question I've asked myself for quite a while now, never really finding a reasonable answer. And if you really want to get into the specifics of it, that question is the main basic reason why I made my channel to begin with. And now, for the first time since the first 3 episodes of the series, I'm really starting to see the answer again. For those of you who don't know and have been living under a rock, Sword Art Online had gotten a Season 2 and premiered just a little over a month ago. At the time of making this video, Episode 5 had come out, and I have to say, wow. I, like I'm sure many other people, started watching Season 2 in order to play the let's see how they fuck it up this time game. And wow, they're actually doing quite a few things right. Don't get me wrong, it's still kinda bad, but they are indeed doing things right for a change. Like, for one thing, for the first time in the entire series, what we're looking at actually feels like a game. From the very beginning, they make it very clear that Gun Gale Online was a professional game. People got paid to play this game. It's very hard to get into, and going into the world for the first time, it really seems that way. People are talking about strategies, doing things without consequence. People are actually going into this game, this virtual reality MMORPG, for the sole purpose of having fun. In the first half of the first season, no shit this isn't going to be in place. They're trapped within this game. They have to build their own society, make their own rules. The game becomes their world. But in the second half, what the fuck is wrong with people? It'd be one thing if it was like Gun Gale Online and they make it very clear that people in this game are hardcore role players, but they never do that. It's just a game that people take way too fucking seriously, and it just fucks up the entire series. Now, the only exception to all of this in Season 2 is a new character named Shion, who understandably takes the game a little seriously. She plays the game in a kind of therapy in order to help with her childhood trauma that deals with guns and killing, and while it's a little shortly written, this does bring me to my next point: character motivation that actually makes sense. Although it doesn't make the most amount of sense, we do kinda get an idea as to how or why she would come to the assumption that this would help her. She is deathly afraid of guns, cripplingly so. But in this game, it is the only time she can see or hold a gun without getting triggered, and I'm sure this is relatable for people who have similar situations. Character motivations in the rest of the series don't make as much sense. I have to go into this game and save my girlfriend, otherwise she'll marry this jackass. Also, he does brain control fucking bullshit, whatever. Okay, sure, why not? We have to beat this game so we can go back to the real world. Why? You've created this whole society. You've been in this world for 2 years. What good is going back to the real world going to do for you? And while all of this is well and good for this character, it still makes me really concerned for her, because we've seen this failure before. Who am I talking about? I fucking wonder. Asuna started off as a really interesting character. She was this badass warrior lady who was a really good player and wanted to get out of SAO for a reason, not a good one, but still a discernible reason. And she slowly devolved into this generic tsundere who was only there for a really badly fucking written romance that was fucking terrible. And then in the second half of the first season, she becomes a literal plot device who does fucking nothing except sit in a cage and get molested. And here we are now in Season 2, and she's nobody. The main female lead of Sword Art Online isn't even part of the fucking plot anymore. Are you fucking serious? And it's not just Asuna. The rest of the cast, with the exception of Kirito, have just been tossed to the side. They don't matter anymore. All they're there for now is for fan service and comedy relief. That's all they're good for now. And I don't want Shion to face that. She's a good character. I want her to develop, not devolve. But I know she will, because they suck. They're such bad writers, and I hate them. And now the one thing I really think that they fucking nailed in Season 2 was the ending scene for episode 5. Everything about that scene was expertly done. The way it was written, the way it was shot and animated, the way it flashed back to everything that happened in the last season. And finally, for the first time in Sword Art Online, something fucking relates back to Sword Art Online! Because if there's one thing out of the many things that I could fault SAO for, I think the one that pissed me off the most was the fact that Sword Art Online happens, and there's practically no repercussions for it at all. People were in comas for 2 years. People died. Thousands of people died. And yet everyone got out of SAO and woke up, and it was all a dream. Everyone just went back to their normal lives. Yeah, they went through physical therapy. They may have had a hard time finding a new job. They may have had to get caught up on school and everything like that. But outside of that, there's nothing at all. Decades from when it happened, we are still remembering tsunamis, bombings, earthquakes, terrorist attacks, everything. And yet in this series, this great fantastical tragedy happens, and there's nothing. That's not how that fucking works. But here in Season 2, Episode 5, finally, something relates back. Something from within SAO that only SAO players would know about has seeped out and found its way into society. That is brilliant. So does any of this make up for what SAO has done in the past? Absolutely not. It is still a very poorly written show with plot holes wider than the broadside of a barn. But for right now, they are taking steps in the right direction. Are they still gonna fuck it up? Probably. But for right now, that's all we can really ask of them, is to at least do their best. Well, that's it for me. This is Fiction Reviews, signing out.